If you finally decided to try out Couchsurfing, welcome to our community! In this video, you're gonna get all the right information you need to know to get started using this amazing service. First thing I want you to know is that this platform is full of inactive users. It seems like the half of the under 35 that I know are registered on Couchsurfing, but then when I go looking at their profiles, they're almost empty and they haven't logged in for years. So when you look at the numbers, like how many hosts are there in a particular city, you're gonna find tens of thousands of hosts, but the truth is that only a few hundreds are usually the really active ones. I think that the reason for that is that they got off on the wrong foot. They probably registered because they had a trip planned and they wanted to couchsurf to find free accommodation, so they just filled out very quickly the profile, like 5 lines, and then they started sending couch requests. And of course, these requests didn't get any positive answer or didn't get any answer at all. And so they stopped using Couchsurfing and they started telling everyone around that Couchsurfing doesn't work and it's super difficult to find a host. No. Please, listen to me. I'm going to guide you through the process of getting started the right way. Okay, let's start. So this video is gonna be divided in 3 chapters, like 3 steps, so make sure to follow the entire process. I give for granted that you already registered to the website with your email address. During the process of registration, the website will ask you to pay some amount of money to get verified. You don't need to do that, so I would suggest you to skip this part for now, and I will make an entire video dedicated specifically on verification on Couchsurfing. But I do suggest you, on the moment that you register, just skip that part. You will do it later. First step, set your profile properly. For a service that's about hosting people in your house or getting hosted by someone in their own home, it's very important to have a very complete and in-depth profile. First thing you need to do is to collect some profile pictures, I'd say at least 3, where someone can see very clearly your face. So please, no sunglasses, no scarves around the head, no hats or anything. Just a very plain, simple picture. And if you don't have it, just take one, please. And it doesn't have to be blurry. It would be nice to have also a picture where you can see her full body, and possibly try to make some different facial expressions in the pictures, because sometimes I see these profiles and they have maybe 7 pictures, but they are always like and it's always the same picture with a different background. It's also nice to include 1 or 2 pictures with you and your friends, just to give an idea of what your environment is. You don't have to upload 100 pictures, of course, but I'd say the more pictures, the better. Then you will have to write a text. And this is gonna take you time because you want your profile to be very complete. You have to describe yourself in the overall information section. Couchsurfing will give you some guidelines, some sections with titles that you can follow or not follow. I find some of them are nice, some of them are not so nice, but they are useful anyway. Just to give you an idea, I'd say that a complete profile will include 3 categories. Facts about you. So where you come from, what's your educational background, what's your job, and what have been your travel experiences, for example. Then, curiosities. Here you're gonna talk a little bit more in depth about yourself, so you're gonna tell what are your passions, what are your interests, your hobbies, and it's always nice here to include some life or travel anecdotes. You know, some little stories, 2 lines, something like that, something that is detailed so it catches the attention of who reads the profile. And third, your motivation. So here you have to explain why did you decide to try out Couchsurfing, what do you expect from it, what are you looking for, how do you intend to use it, if for hosting, surfing, hangout, whatever you want. And also something that a lot of people do, and I think it's a very good thing, is to include your philosophy of life. So just mention a little bit what are your principles and your values so a person can understand if you are compatible or not with them. Take some time to fill out your profile. I know it's very annoying. I also didn't like to fill out my profile. It's very boring. I don't like to write about myself, but it is just necessary because the more detailed is the profile, the better can a person understand what kind of person you are and if you're gonna go to get along with this person or not. B, even if someone doesn't read your entire profile, which is actually very rare, like you usually skip some parts, but if it's a very long profile, you are more reliable because at least you put the effort in setting up your profile, and this means that you probably want to do Couchsurfing in a serious way and you're not just looking for a free accommodation for your next trip and then stop it. So I'm sorry if it's not very funny, but this is a necessary process. Please go through it and do it the right way. Second step, use Hangouts. Hangouts is a very interesting feature of Couchsurfing app. It allows people who are finding each other in the same area to find each other through GPS localization. So basically how it works is, let's say you find yourself in a city and you feel like hanging out with someone, some new person. I mean, maybe you are bored of your friends or you are in a new city, you don't know anyone. So you go to the Couchsurfing app and you go to the Hangout section, and there you will find a switch. By tapping on this switch, you will activate your GPS localization, which means that from that moment, you're going to be visible to all the people in the area that also have activated this switch. And then what you can do is you can make a public post and you can say, for example, I'd like to take a walk along the river. Who wants to come with me? Let's grab some beer together. Or I want to go to the museum. Let's organize a barbecue at the park for today in the evening. And whenever someone of these active people in the area will answer you, the app will start a group chat related to that post. So anyone can require to join the group and everyone in the group can accept this new person or not. And then you can chat all together and agree some time and place to meet each other. The reason why I suggest to newbies to start with this function is because it is a very soft feature of Couchsurfing. So instead of having your first Couchsurfing experience by hosting someone in your home or getting hosted, which is something a little bit more in depth, you can use Hangouts, which will allow you to meet someone in a public place, so it's very safe, don't have to worry about that. And basically you will spend a couple of hours in an afternoon or in an evening with somebody that you don't know yet, like make a new friend. And after that, you are going to be able to leave a reference to each other. So this is what you are interested about, because when you start out, you have 0 references. And it's quite difficult, of course, to realize someone who has 0 references. So you need to start building up these feedbacks slowly, and Hangouts is perfect for this because it doesn't require so much effort. It requires to spend a couple of hours with someone, and the reference will be not as valuable as a guest or a host. It's gonna go into the personal references section, but still, if you hang out with a couple of people, at least you have 2 people who have met you and they can report to everyone else in the community that you have certain characteristics and that you are not a crazy person, basically. Talking about personal references, I also suggest you, if you have some friends who are already using Couchsurfing, they already know you, so ask them to leave you a reference on your profile. It will also go to these personal references, but I mean, it's still something. It's still a person who has known you for years who tell everyone else that he knows you and you're okay. And finally, third step, host someone. Host someone for the first time. Now you have a couple of references from the Hangouts, so any surfer that wants to come to your house at least knows that you probably are an okay person, so you can go with it. And hosting someone for the first time is obvious if your goal is to become a host on Couchsurfing, but I also recommend to do it if you're going to become a surfer. And this is for two reasons. First, because it's good to know what it feels like to host a complete stranger in your home if you're going to be that complete stranger one day. It helps you be a better host. And second, our goal is to get as many references as possible, to become more reliable to the community, and getting them by hosting is way easier than getting them by being hosted. To be honest, a reference from a guest is an even more reliable reference, because sometimes it happens on Couchsurfing that you find guests that are there only because they wanted a free bed and they don't really care about you as a host, they just care about your free bed and your free bathroom and your free stuff. And also another reason for hosting someone is that you will get 3 months of free verification, which is not bad at all. After getting your first references, you'll see that it's gonna be way easier to be a surfer. If you don't run a risk to not finding a host when you plan your next trip, I do suggest you to wait until you have at least 3 or 4 references before requesting a couch. With 3-4 references and a complete profile, you'll see that it's gonna be very easy to send a nice couch request and get hosted. Of course, you'll still need to write a good couch request, a personalized one, otherwise nobody is gonna host you anyway. To do that, I do recommend you to watch the video I already prepared, how to write a perfect couch request. You will find it in the cards or in the description below. I am kind of famous among my Couchsurfing hosts for writing very good and impressive couch requests, so I guess those tips are good. That's all for today. This video is a part of a series of informational videos about Couchsurfing that I'm doing. So if you're interested to watch more, just go in the description below and you will find the link to the full playlist. Please hit the thumbs up if you liked the video. Thanks for your attention. I'll see you next time. Bye!